The Synology DS720 Plus is a small form-factor NAS system that has been available for almost 3 years now, and what makes this NAS ideal for the home user is the small footprint and the ease of installation, thanks to not only the way this NAS is built, but to the way the Synology system and customer support is being done, two things which I will be testing in this review. The Synology DS720 Plus is a small NAS that can handle up to 2 SSDs or 2 3.5-inch hard drives. In addition, this little NAS can use up to 2 M.2 SSDs for its cache system, but more on those later. The Synology DS720 Plus is available for purchase right now for no less than $400, give or take based on the stocks available and the location of the purchase. That's $400 for just the NAS. If you want to have hard drives, you must pay even more, especially for high capacity models. We start with the packaging, and it's good news, as while the box isn't a looker with a plain design and nothing else, it does offer a decent protection for the NAS inside. While I would have loved to have seen some foam pad protecting the NAS and its accessories, this type of cardboard design does work too. Speaking of the accessories, you only get what you need and nothing more. Included we have a user manual, 2 internet cables, a power AC cable, a power brick, 2 keys to lock the HDD base of the NAS, and around 10 Phillips screws that you will use to attach 2 SSDs inside the storage trays. From a design standpoint, the Synology DS720 Plus is a good looking product. The casing used on this NAS has the same design elements as the rest of the DS series. The casing is made from solid metal with a few plastic components inside. The Synology logo is cut out from the casing on both sides. While on one side this logo serves as only a cosmetic element, on the opposite side this logo can act as an airflow vent for the installed fan inside the NAS. The front of the NAS is simple. You have 2 storage drive bays and 3 status LEDs, 1 LED for each drive bay and 1 LED for the status of the entire NAS and its systems. On the lower part of the front side there is the power button, which also has an integrated blue LED inside. Above it we have a single USB 3.0 port for connecting an external storage device to the NAS. It's worth pointing out that on the lower part of the NAS the drive bays are labeled with 1 and 2. This is important especially after you set up your NAS and your RAID array, as the hard drives or SSDs, depending on what you choose, will need to be installed in the exact same location as before, otherwise the system might not work correctly. At the back of the unit we have a single 92mm fan, which is responsible for the active cooling of the entire NAS system. This little fan can be used in multiple speeds based on the fan mode you choose when configuring the NAS for the first time. Below the fan shroud there are 2 Ethernet gigabit ports, both the RJ45 type. A small reset button on the left and a locking slot on the right. A red eSATA port is installed on the lower part above the power AC slot. In addition to all of these, a single USB 3.0 port is installed on the lower right corner. On the underside of the NAS we have 2 M.2 sockets. While these can accommodate M.2 SSDs, you cannot use them for internal storage. Instead, these SSDs are used for the cache of the NAS. And now that we've covered how this NAS looks like and all its ports and buttons, it's time to see what's inside of it, which is the important thing. We start with the main item, the CPU. The Synology DS720 Plus uses a quad-core Intel Celeron J4125, which is running at a base frequency of 2 GHz and has a burst frequency of 2.7 GHz. The integrated DDR4 RAM memory has a total capacity of 2 GB and can be expanded to 6 GB if you add your own SODIMM memory stick. More on that in a minute. Installing the hard drives is done with ease. You pull on the plastic trays at the front and remove them. Afterwards, you place the hard drive inside and snap the plastic beams in place, effectively locking the hard drive inside the storage tray. What I do not like with this mounting system is easy to guess. Those hard drives are not insulated from the rest of the system. A few rubber pads or foam pads would have done wonders for vibration reduction and noise insulation, but we have none of that here. With both trays removed, you get easy access to the single DDR4 SODIMM RAM slot. While a lot of DDR4 RAM modules will work, Synology makes their own, which is guaranteed to work. With both hard drives installed in the trays, you simply slide them inside the casing and they should click into place. You also use the included keys and lock the trays inside the NAS. I highly recommend this because while locking them will not prevent thefts, it will prevent any accidental removal of the trays, especially if you have pets. Afterwards, you connect the power cable at the back of the NAS and insert 1 or 2 Ethernet cables depending on what your requirements are. Ideally, you'd want to connect your NAS to your router. This way you will be using the easiest installation method available. With the NAS booting up for the first time, you have to open up your preferred web browser with an active internet connection, mind you, and in the address bar type find.synology.com. This will open the automatic detection system offered by Synology. This, as the name suggests, will automatically detect your connected NAS and prompt you with the details you need from your NAS. Afterwards, the system will point you to the installation procedure of the Disk Station Manager. This will take a while depending on your network performance and system, so use some patience. After this is done, you will have to create an administrator account to manage your NAS and network, so just fill out the required information and move on with the next step, which is more account and info sharing for the system. It's nothing out of the ordinary and should be done with ease within 1 or 2 minutes. Afterwards, you will be greeted with the desktop of the NAS system. First, if this is your first time with the NAS, you will be prompted to create a new volume. Click Create Now and continue with the installation. When you are prompted to choose what RAID setup you want, or if you want one at all, well, here is where doing your homework regarding the RAID systems will pay off. In my case, with only 2 8TB hard drives, I choose RAID 2, as it is simple and will create a perfect duplicate of one hard drive on the other. While doing so, I will lose half of my total storage capacity, but gain the peace of mind that if one drive fails, the other drive will have a perfect copy of my data. Going into the package center, hit the download and install button on the active backup for business. Don't worry about the business name, it's going to work just fine on your home NAS system. At the beginning of this review, I said that I will talk about the support part of the Synology ecosystem. So before I started testing the NAS, I tried to get it working with absolutely no information regarding the NAS or Synology in general. And of course, I did something wrong, which made me call the Synology support line. No joke, within 5 minutes I had the NAS fully working and installing the Disk Station Manager. So when you hear people praising the Synology customer support, they're not lying, it's great. Also, to get the best idea about the ease of installation with this NAS, I did zero research, just like I've said a few seconds ago. From start to finish, I needed 15 minutes to get the NAS fully working and backing up my data. Those 15 minutes include the 5 minutes spent on calling the support line. Thus, from an user experience, even if you are a total beginner, the Synology software and ecosystem is one of the best, with most functions being fully automated while others being left as optionals. When we talk about performance, that's a different matter. Using the NAS is easy, and thanks to a low power quad-core CPU, the system is fluid with no lagging present. The transfer speeds are solely dependent on 2 factors: the hard drives or SSDs you decide to use and the network connection you have at home or work. In my case, I was able to reach upwards of 100 MB per second in reading speeds and around 80 MB per second in writing speeds, which is quite good for 2 hard drives over a regular gigabit internet connection. The Synology DS720 Plus is one of the best home NAS systems you can buy today, and I'm saying this because of 2 things. First, the ease of installation, with a simple setup and almost fully automatic software installation. Second, the build quality is great. Everything for the most part is made from solid metal. However, for the asked price, Synology could have done more to dampen the vibrations of the hard drives and to lower the overall sound generated by the NAS. The Synology DS720 Plus is priced at $400 right now, and that's really the average price tag for a small NAS system. Yes, you can find something cheaper, but that might as well be a case of you get what you pay for. Even though you only have 2 storage bays, the Synology DS720 Plus can be expanded in the future by adding a second hard drive or upgrading both. And given the way the Synology system is made, the upgrade will be done within a few minutes and almost automatically. If you like this review, then you might consider subscribing for more, and if you want to support me in a direct way, then in the description below you will find the links for both the Patreon and the 2 Substar pages of this channel.